Hello everybody, welcome to you all. And here we are going to discuss about Angular, that how to develop project in Angular and how to use this, how to integrate this Angular application with any server-side application. So if you are beginner, so this is very much helpful for you to understand the complete Angular concept and all the components which are available in Angular, and you can make use of it in your own project. So before moving ahead, let's see the agenda for this session, for the upcoming session. And here I'm going to cover every component of Angular from the beginning till the end. So the first thing for the Angular is every person who is trying to learn Angular. So first question in his mind is, what are the prerequisites for it? What should I know before starting Angular? So to start Angular, you just need to have basic knowledge of CSS and HTML. And if you know JavaScript, that is good. If you don't know, no worries. That won't harm you to understand Angular, because I'm going to cover it from scratch so that you'll get better clarity and you'll understand every point, whatever I'm going to discuss here. And the next topic is we'll do environment setup, and then we'll understand Angular, that why it is popular and what it has, it makes special in the frameworks. And then we'll develop a complete Angular project with integration of server side application, so that you will get better clarity from the Angular side development and from integration side as well with any server side application. So before moving ahead, let's see what you need to have in your machine. So for that, uh, let me open my browser. So the first thing you need to start with Angular is Node.js. Node.js is a uh, software that will provide an environment to start developing your Angular application. So for that, you need to download Node.js. So you need to go at Node.js website and download from here. So it available in several OS, for example Windows, Mac and others. So if you are Windows user, then you can make use of it, and you can download 32-bit or 64-bit, any version, whatever machine configuration you have. So you can download it and simply you can install. There will be some simple steps to install this. You can follow similarly. Once you have the Node.js in your machine, so you can check that, you can make sure that Node.js properly installed and is it configured properly. So for that, you just need to type few commands like node-v, so it will give the node version. And once you have the node, then you need to install Angular CLI. Angular CLI will download all the development related library and compiler related things to develop your application and run and build your application. So for that, you need to have this run this command in your machine. So already I have did all this process, so I'm not going to repeat the same, but I'll put this command in the comment section so that you can make use of it. And similarly, the TypeScript in Angular, we develop every component by using TypeScript. So you need to have TypeScript as well. So for that, you need to install TypeScript also. So for that, just simply you need to copy this and paste in your command line and just run it. That's it. Nothing you need to do. And once you complete this process, these two steps, then just check that Angular CLI is installed properly or not. So for that, you just need to check your version. For that, and ng, you need to type this command, and this will give your node version, your Angular version. Every information will give you. So this is the Angular CLI version for me. It is 8.3.17. This CLI version I'm going to use, and this is my node version which I have shown you earlier. So once these things are ready for you, then you are ready for development and you can start with that. So for that, you need to create your project. So this is a very simple steps to create project, and for that you just need to select any directory and you can go there and you can just type a line command, that is ng. Ng refers to tell the Angular that this is I'm going to type command that will inform Angular to do further operation. And what are these operations? Those are new says that we are going to create a new project, and if you specify new, then we need to tell tell what is the project we are going to create. So for that, here need to tell the project name. For example, I'm giving as a demo project. Hit enter. It will ask you question to set up Angular for you. So it is asking that would you like to add Angular routing or not. So definitely, if you are using Angular, it means we have to there will be several scenario. We have to navigate from one page to another page. So for that, you need to have Angular routing definitely. So just say yes and go ahead. It will ask that what kind of cascading you are trying to use. So I'm happy with CSS. Go ahead, press enter, and it will start downloading all the packages which would be need for your project, and these are all the files which is directly being used in application. So till the time it is downloading, let's understand the few concepts of Angular, that and those are. So the first thing which comes in our mind, that what is the Angular, what it is. So as we know that in our any server side application, we have several framework that will provide built-in containers to run our application, to develop and test, and there will be several libraries in support of that. So in server side we have Spring, Hibernate, similar such framework. So similarly we have Angular in our front end side, one framework, that is Angular. And here uh, this is JavaScript based framework. So it is using JavaScript language a background to execute our every TypeScript code. It will convert our TypeScript code into JavaScript, and then it will make use of it. So as I told, JavaScript, it is a JavaScript based framework, and it has a lot of libraries that we can make use of it. And this is mainly popular in developing single page application. What does mean of single page application? Single page application means there would be only one page, and in that page we are going to use we are going to break that page in multiple component, and we can use individual component based on our requirement. We'll understand more about this component later. So complete Angular project is a component based programming. It means we have hundreds of features. So we will divide our application into the features, and we'll write each component for each feature, so that each component will be independent and that can be used independently in our application at respective places with the architecture. And Angular follows model view architecture, MVC architecture. So in that, as we have Spring MVC architecture, so similarly in Angular also we have, it follows MVC architecture. So what does mean of it? Let's see. So uh, before looking into that, let's understand how it operates on a single page. For example, this is our website in which we have several sections. For example, header is an individual component. This lower section is one more component. A profile, that would be one more component. So we divide our one page into several components, and these each components are independent, so that if you are making changes in any component, so other component is not going to be affected. So you'll understand all these slowly when I'll start development. So let's understand the model view controller here. So view mainly represents the logic which will present our information on the browser, on the page. For example, HTML pages where we can display whatever we want to display. So view mainly refers to HTML pages, And controller refers to ts file where we'll write all the logics that will manipulate this data whatever is available on our page. And this controller will make use of model. So model is nothing but a data object. So whenever we need any data from the server, so controller will call uh, api request. It will hit a api request, get data from api, it will put in model, and from the model view will use respective model data as is specified in controller. So in this way it will work. So to understand in better way, let's switch to the application and let's see. Yeah, it is downloaded. So here our project is downloaded here. So to to write our code and to develop our project, we need one IDE. So here I'll suggest you to use VS Code because it is very much interactive and efficient IDE. It has its own terminal so that we can do everything here. We need not to need any other places for this. So in this IDE, whatever project I have created here, so I'll just where it is. So I'll just import this project in my IDE and we'll understand what are the components being generated. So in VS Code, if you don't have VS Code, you can directly download it from Google and you can install it and you can directly use it. So in order to add any Angular project in our VS Code, we just need to add folder to workspace. So if you click on here, so it will ask where your project is. So I have stored my project at desktop in Angular section, and that is demo project. So just open it and it is open. So here I'll give you overview of what are the files is available here and what is the task of each file. So I'll start from very beginning, that is E to E. So here we have one protractor.config.js. So this file is mainly, you can say, environment that where we configure our hosting URL. So this is the base URL on which whenever we start our application, so this will be hosted here on this URL. So and other important file that we need to know at this point of time. So I'll just describe only those files which are important as of now, because if you are watching as a beginner, so you just need to know few files. Those are very much important and those are directly being used while developing. So the next file which you need to know is package.json file, that is directly available in your demo project directory, and you can open this file. So this is the file where we mention the start command, that what command we need to run to start our application, what command we need to run to build our application for testing, other stuff like this. So these are sections where we specify those commands, and the first one is saying the project name which we have created, and this is the project version. If we are working on different version, we can specify here. And rest of the thing are the dependency. If you are aware with Java, so there we if you are developing maven project, then there we have pom.xml. If you are developing gradle project, then there we have build.gradle file. So similarly in Angular we have package.json file. So here we have all the dependency available here, and these dependency related library files we have in this R application. So if you want to add any application, any module or any libraries in your application, you can just use one entry here and you can just save it. It will download the respective libraries, or you can run it at the command prompt. Any method you can want to use, you can use, you're free to use. The second is this node module. So this node module is the section where all the library files will be here. So whatever you install and whatever node Angular project will use and whatever node related files library will be there, so it will be here in this section, node module. So any library we use, those are available here in this node module. So we need not to see anything here, we just need to know that these are the library which our application is using. Then this is the source. In this our all source code will be here. So if you expand this, so we will find app section, assets, environment, and here. So as I discussed earlier that this Angular is very much popular for developing single page application. So the single page I was talking about is this index.html. So this is the page, and this is a single page which will be rendered on the browser. And whatever component we develop, so those components will be nested in this page and will be displayed on the browser. And the next one is style.css. So whatever cascading logic or classes or in any cascading related properties will write, so that if you want to write for the globally for all the pages that should be available for all the pages, we'll write in this file. For example, this is our index.html, we want to apply some background color, so that would be common for all pages. If then we'll write this in this style.css file. And if you go at the next folder, that is assets, so in this assets, so suppose our application is using some image file or some other files, whatever is needed for our application, so we keep all the assets here in this assets file. And app is the code directory where all the codes will be here. So the first most file is important file is app module.ts. So this app module.ts states that in this file, whatever component we create, so we need to declare those component in declaration section. Then only Angular will recognize our component as Angular component. If you won't declare here and we are trying to make use of that, it will throw error that your component is not registered with node module, something like that. So this section, this declaration section shows that whatever component we have created, that will be registered here, that will be declared here. And the next section is imports. It means we haven't created anything, but we are trying to use of existing library that is available in node module, or we are trying to use other library that is external for us. So we will download, install in our node module, and then we'll import those module in this import section. And if we have any services, for example http services or any services we want to use, so we will just declare here in provider section all the services. So this is all about this app module.ts file. The next component is for us is routing. So this is the routing file where we declare our all the routing parameters, everything here. So in this routing routes array, we'll specify our routing. So whenever I'll start developing components, I'll show entries here, but just as of now, you just need to know that this is the file where we need to declare our all the routing uh, path here, all the files which are involved in routing. So we need to configure here everything. And the next important component file is the one component, that is core component, app component. So if you create any component in Angular, so with respect for that component, it will create four files. One is ts file, next one is specs.ts file. It means this will be used for testing, so we are not focusing on the testing as of now. So and the third file is html file and css file. It means any component has its own view and its own cascading file where we can write our styles. So I'll show you app component.ts file, that how it looks like. So in this app component.ts file or any component whatever you have created, so here you will see first one is selector. It means this selector, whatever the value is here, this will be used as a tag in any of component. If you have created a component and you were trying to use that component in other component directly, so you can make use of this as a tag. I'll show you where it is being used. So it is being used on a single page where we specified, for example, this is the app root. So this you can see app root, and the same selector is available in app component ts file as well. So this tag will refers to the complete component in the sense this ts file, html file, css file and spec file. All this it refers to, because in this component it is bind with html file, which it has this html file in the template url section. It means this html file is bind with this component and this css file also. So now this including these three files, these are combined with one component and this will be work together. So if you write anything in this component, that would be public, so it will be available for this html page. So these are the files which will generate while starting the application. Once we create application, so these are the files which will generate automatically. You need not to do anything. So our first application is got created, and in this I'll remove all these and just I'll say h1 and hello there. So if I'll save it, and for that I need to run this application. So here it has integrated terminal, here bottom you can see. So as I have shown you in package.json file, so if you want to run our application, we need to type this command ng start. So here I'll use the same command and I'll type as ng start. So this will start our application. First it will compile all the files and then it will give us the host URL. On that we can launch our application. Just wait for a few seconds to start it. Okay, I need to type it as ng serve. For that we need to do npm start, because ng start will be called by npm. So we have two commands. We can use either npm start or ng serve. As you can see here, see this. Either directly we can use ng serve or npm start. So npm start internally calling the ng serve to run our application. So let's wait till this starting of this server. So once this will be started, component will be compiled, then it will be hosted on a port that I have shown you here. That is, let me see there, that is localhost 4200. So wait for a couple of minutes. It is compiling the complete application. Yes, everything got compiled, and we can just launch that port. So for that, http ://localhost 420. So hello there. So we are ready with our basic application, which has the whatever the component that we created while creating the application. So this is the ready with us, and whatever changes we'll made here in our html file, app component of html file. So to render those, we just need to save our values. For example, I'll edit it and make it as everybody. I'll just save it. It will recompile and render the changes accordingly, everybody. So here now we are ready with our basic structure for the application, and in next video we'll see the different concepts of Angular. So thanks for watching.